Hey guys, it's GXBOB coming to you guys from Southern California to do another pretty awesome video. If you guys are surfing through my channel looking for me to pick the 5 best Lexuses off a used car dealership, I'm not that type of channel, guys. There's plenty of other channels out there that will do that for you, and they are really super pretty good at what they do. My channel, I like to do fun stuff, really fun stuff, okay? So when I reached out to Auxbeam and I said, hey Auxbeam, everything on the current market right now, all the accessories out there right now are just bland and boring. Give me something new. Give me something to work with, man. I hate everything that's out there. Everybody's doing roof racks. Everybody's doing a 2-inch lift. Everybody's picking tire sizes. Give me something different. So they threw me this brown box. I don't know what's in this brown box. Like I said, I always do the unveiling with you guys. So when I asked them for a little hint, just give me a little tiny hint on what this is, you know what they said? They said, Bob, impersonating a police officer carries a misdemeanor of up to 1 year in jail and a $2,000 fine. I was like, 1 year in jail? That ain't nothing, man. Let's do this. Let's go home and find out what this is. Come on. All right, so we're back at my house. Right in front of my garage right here. I'm gonna go ahead and open this sucker up. Can any of you kind of guess just by looking at the shape of this box what this might be? I'm going to guess, you know those red lights that you just slap on top of your car with a magnet like the police detectives do whenever they're on a high-speed chase or something? That's what I'm going to guess. I can't see it as some LED light bar or something like that, and if it has something to do with police impersonation, that might just be it. A strobe light on top of the car. So let's go ahead and open this up. Let's check it out. Look at here. It's a walkie-talkie PA system. Let's check it out, guys. So we got this huge Siren. I'm not sure how loud it is, but it's 100 watts. Woo! This might just do the trick. 100 watts. I'm gonna take a look at the installation right here. And so far I got a telephone cord that's probably most likely plug and play into something else, most likely this walkie-talkie. And I got 2 wires that I'm gonna have to hook up, and I'm going to assume this is positive and ground. No installation can be this simple and yet so fun. So we are going to test this out on how simple this installation is going to be. Okay, it's got some hardware here, I guess, with double-sided tape in order for you to install the walkie-talkie. But let's check out this walkie-talkie. It's got about 7 buttons on here. It's got a little tab right here for you to hook onto your hardware right here that comes with the box. And it's got this female plug right here that you plug your Siren into. Check this out. How easy is this? Done. There's no cutting, no crimping, no splicing, no nothing else. Only thing you're gonna have to connect is probably this power and ground. We're gonna test that out, but let's go ahead and take a look at this walkie-talkie for a minute. Let's take a look at these buttons. So we have horn, we have siren, we have high LD, we have whale 1, whale 2. We got a couple of other buttons. We're going to find out what all these buttons do. Okay, I'm kind of excited on trying to figure out what kind of sounds this walkie-talkie makes, or this Siren makes, right? So I'm hoping it's going to be as close as possible to a police siren, and I might just have fun with the little PA system, because I want to talk into this and I want to start saying rude stuff to people walking on the street or something, or I don't know, want to pull people over if you're driving back of them and they're driving way too slow, right? So let's go ahead and install this. Come on, let's go to the car, guys. So I have the Siren right up at my battery. I'm not going to install anything just yet. I want to put this to power and ground just to see if it works and just to see how loud this sucker is, okay? So let's go ahead and temporarily put this red wire to your positive. Luckily I have this quick release right here. I could just release it without having to use any tools and just clamp it back up. I have these suckers in my other video if you guys are interested. They're called quick release battery clamps. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for this side. There you go. Power and ground is hooked up. The only other wire we're going to need to hook up is this telephone wire right here that's going to hook up to our little walkie-talkie PA system. Here it is, guys. Let's set this right here. Let's hook up this end to our Siren. Very easy installation. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it out right now. Let's hit horn. Whoa, holy smokes. Dude, that's the type of siren, that's the type of sound I always hear whenever a cop is behind me and they want me to pull over. They want me to pull over onto the side of the shoulders of a freeway or the street or something. Or if you want to just tell people to move out of the way, you just hit this button real quick, horn. Cool. So let's see what the center button does. It says siren. Let's go ahead. Holy crap, that is super loud. They weren't kidding when they said 100 watts. Let's try out high LD. I have no idea what that is. I'm not going to keep that on, guys. My neighbors are starting to peek out their windows. Wow, that sounds really real. Okay, wow. To pull over a car. This is probably a high-speed chase or something. You got your siren. Let's check out what whale number 1 is. Wow, did you hear that? So I guess this is more custom. I can hold on to it and it'll give a higher pitch. If I let go, it'll give a lower pitch. Let's see what whale number 2 does. Okay, so whale number 2 is more of an ambulance, emergency, okay? Did you see that? Okay, so now we know that all these 5 buttons have a different type of tone, and it's probably going to be fun to be using while driving around your local streets. I wouldn't do it in front of a cop, guys. That's not that's not a very smart thing to do. But you know, in the presence of your own driveway, very fun to mess around with your neighbors with. Let's check out these 2 empty buttons down here. Wow. Okay. Super loud. Okay, so let's see if there's any other buttons here. So you have a clicker. You have a clicker on the left side of this walkie-talkie here. I'm guessing if you hold on to it and you talk into it, it's going to amplify your voice over there. Hello, hello, please move over, please move over. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be fun, guys. Let's go ahead and install this. So first things first, guys, we're gonna have to take a measurement of this siren. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the dimensions of this siren just so you guys get a feel of how big this thing is, okay? Now, if I take a scale right here, I'm gonna measure the length of it. It is going to be about 6.5 inches long. It's going to be about 6 inches wide, and it's going to be about 3.5 inches deep. Okay, so 6 by 6 by 3, not too bad, right? So something like this, you could either do one of 2 ways. You could either put it right underneath this panel right here, take apart this panel, and you got plenty of space right here to drill 2 holes for this bracket to hold against here, or you can put it somewhere underneath here, because I know underneath here you guys are going to have a lot of room. The only problem with my vehicle is I have an Auxbeam gang channel unit right here, a big old fuse panel right here that might not allow my siren to be installed here. I don't know until I take off this panel to check it out. But if you want, I mean, the closer to your grill, the louder your siren's going to be, correct? So let's go ahead and start taking off these panels to see where we can actually install this. Not too shabby, huh? It can actually go down here without a problem. Let's see if my hood closes. Yep, it does. So I have to decide, is this where I want to install it? I'm going to go ahead and open up my options, guys. I'm going to also open up this panel to see if this is going to be a better option. Totally excited, guys. So let's take out this siren right here. Let's go take a look at the front of the vehicle. So guys, Take a look where another option of where my siren could be installed. Right there. You see it? Right here. Right behind the grill. Lots of space on this metal support right here to be drilling your bracket on. And the bracket only requires 2 screws, guys, just to hold down the whole entire siren. And do you know why I have the siren facing towards me instead of facing outward? Even though if you face it outward, it's going to be a whole heck of a lot louder. I would do this to hide it, shield it away from the elements, because you're going to be driving through water, through wind, through snow. You don't know what's going to get in there. A lot of bugs are going to start flying in there too. So I want the mouthpiece of the siren to be facing away from all the direct impacts that's going to have on it. See this? And you can't even tell there's a siren in there. Pretty camouflaged. See that? Okay guys, I decided not to install this right behind my grill only because I have an Auxbeam gang channel fuse panel right here that I can run my power and ground to. If you guys don't have one of these, then running it straight to your battery is just as good, okay? But just remember, if you run it straight to your battery, you're gonna have to put an inline fuse somewhere in between, okay? I would prefer like a 5 amp or something. Start off with a 5 amp and run this power straight to your battery to power this thing up. And this ground right here, you can go ahead and put like a little ring right here and drill it into your structure of your vehicle when you install your bracket to install this siren, okay? Very simple, power and ground, very basic. And this telephone wire right here, you're going to go ahead and open up the straps, extend it out, and what you're going to do is you're going to run this through the rubber booty through your firewall right there, just like the way I ran all my other wires through the firewall in my other installations, okay? And the reason why I am going to be installing the siren right here is just because I have this Auxbeam fuse panel. I'm going to open this up and show you guys a little bit. Because I have an Auxbeam fuse panel right here, I can run my power and ground directly to my Auxbeam fuse panel. And I'm just going to choose one of these channels, right? They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 being the last one, and 8 holds a 5 amp. I'm going to hook it up to channel number 8. It has a power and ground symbol right here. Let me show it to you guys. You take a look at channel number 8. It has power and ground. So I'm going to slip my red wire in this slot. I'm going to slip my black wire in this slot. Once I slip it in there, all I do is take a Phillips screwdriver and tighten these 2 screws down. And if you take a look inside my vehicle, on my Auxbeam switch panel, this is switch number 8. So every time I push this, it's going to power up that siren. It's going to power up that siren in order for me to use that siren. I'm going to get a long flathead screwdriver just like this one, and I'm going to poke at that rubber boot and get it loose. I'm going to get it loose on the side right here in order for me to slip my cable through. I'm going to take the slot. I'm going to take this slot right here. I'm going to poke it through, and then I'm going to turn it sideways in order to leave an opening for me to run a wire through there. Okay, so let's go ahead and poke this rubber boot, turn it sideways. Now I left an opening. If you take a closer look, I'll show you what the opening looks like. You see that? Clearer than daylight. I just left an opening for me to run wires through. Now I'm going to take my telephone wire from my siren. I'm going to run it through that hole. You're going to take your siren and you're going to bring it over here because you're going to tug on the wire. You don't want this siren to be clanking around your engine compartment when you tug on this wire. So leave it close to the firewall as much as possible when you tug on the wire on the other side. Let's go to the other side. Now if you take a look at my driver's kick panel down there, you're going to see that the telephone wire routed right through. It just fell right through the hole. I'm going to go ahead and yank on it until it doesn't yank anymore. Just pull it all the way through. Okay. Let's go back to the engine compartment. Now that I pulled the wire all the way through, I'm going to go ahead and grab my flathead screwdriver. Don't do what a lot of mechanics do and leave tools still left in the car and let the customer drive home with all your tools, your snap-on tools in the engine compartment, okay? Remember to remove your tools, guys, all right? Now that we have extended our wires, we're going to take our power and ground, we're going to leave it out in the open, okay? Because we're going to be using this next. We're going to take our siren, we're going to stuff it down here. Okay, once we stuff it down there, I'm going to go back inside the driver's cockpit, the kick panel, and I'm going to start pulling on the wire. I don't want any slack. Pull on it some more. There you go. No more slack. And let's just leave this right here. Let's go back to the engine compartment. Okay folks, at this point you can get creative and mount this any way you want. You can actually take 2 tap screws and screw your siren bracket against this side wall right here if you want to. I'm not going to do that. I think this is going to be a temporary install because I want to be able to remove it if I decide to sell the car or decide to sell the siren. I don't know what I'm going to do, but this is going to be a very simple temporary install. So I'm going to use a couple of zip ties, and I'm going to zip tie the bracket against this wire harness right here. I don't have to worry about it ruining the wire harness because this is a very light module, and this module bracket is not going to get hot on the wires, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie it to this wire harness right here. There you go. Let me show you what I did. One zip tie here, one zip tie there. I'm just going to cut it off. Now I got a pair of power and ground that I need to route to this channel right here, channel number 8. I found out that these wires are just way too short for me to route it here, so I'm going to have to extend it. So let's go ahead and grab a couple of 18 gauge speaker wires somewhere in your garage. So let's go ahead and get that roll going. I got a roll of speaker wire right here. It's got 2 colors, okay, so I can differentiate between power and ground. So with this, I'm going to choose blue as my power and brown as my ground. So I'm just going to cut off enough in order to reach my channel number 8 in my Auxbeam fuse box right here. I got a set of cutters, and I also got a set of crimpers, and I got 2 barrel connectors for 18 gauge wires. Okay, these are going to connect my speaker wires to the siren wires. So let's go ahead and start with the power wire. Take the red wire. We're going to take some shielding off in order to expose it, expose the copper wire. You're going to take one of the butt connectors, slide it through the slide it through the wire, and now I'm going to crimp it. There's an aluminum barrel in here that you smash in order to have it connected to this wire. Okay, make sure it's not loose. You're going to do the same thing with the black wire. The black wire has some copper wire already exposed, so I'm not going to cut off any more shielding. So let's go ahead and get a barrel, slide it in there. Let's go ahead and smash the aluminum barrel in here. Let's do the loose test by pulling on it, make sure it doesn't come loose. Now I'm going to take a visual. I'm going to do an eyeball visual just to see how much wire I'm going to need, and it's not going to be that much. So I'm just going to grab maybe, I don't know, 7 inches worth of speaker wire here. Okay. So I'm going to split the blue and the brown. You guys may have a different color. It doesn't really matter. Take off the shielding. All I did was take off about maybe half inch of shielding. Half inch worth of shielding off the copper wire to expose the copper wire. Now remember I told you I chose the blue as my red. This is very important because it's going to be in my memory that whatever I attach this blue wire, it has to have power. Okay, whatever I attach this brown wire to, it's got to go to ground eventually. So let's go ahead and smash the aluminum barrel here. Now let's do the same thing to the brown wire. The brown wire is going to go to the black wire of the siren. Let's go ahead and smash it. Okay, cool. Right here, I could keep on going and leave this exposed and make it look ugly every time somebody opens up my engine compartment and takes a look at all my wiring techniques and says, wow, this looks pretty ugly. So I'm going to go ahead and get some black 3M electrical tape and wrap this up. Not only does the 3M black electrical tape make the wiring look more consistent, it also hides the wiring, and it also keeps the barrel connectors from eventually disconnecting or coming loose one day. So this is good. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap the whole entire wire. You guys can go out there and buy, I don't know, a roll of loom and just cover up your wires. I think that's a little overkill for something small of a job like this. I'm just going to go ahead and do electrical tape. Not do too much, not go all the way, because I don't know how long of a wire I'm going to need. So right now I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to gang channel number 8. We're going to slip it underneath here. Right there. And now at the end point, We're going to decide how long we want this, how much slack we're going to want. You decide that. Use common sense, guys. But you want some slack, okay? We're going to take the ends of the speaker wires. We're going to split them because they're going to go to 2 different channels right here. One is going to be positive, one's going to be negative in channel number 8. Just like that. We are going to take off about maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch to expose the copper wire. And we're going to slip it in these channels. But in order for us to slip into these channels, we're going to have to open up these channels up with a small Phillips screwdriver. Here's my small Phillips screwdriver. We're going to start with positive. So let's go ahead and open up the positive channel. And we're going to slip the blue wire in there. Remember, blue was positives. We're going to slip the blue wire in there. Now we're going to take the brown wire, because the brown wire is obviously ground. We already determined that. We're going to put it into the ground channel with the Phillips screwdriver here. We don't have to put an inline fuse from our Siren to the battery because it already comes with the built-in fuse, right? So we already installed our Siren. We already tied it to positive and ground. So let's go ahead and go inside the driver's compartment, our cockpit, and hook up our walkie-talkie. And let's test it out. Now that we decided our Siren was button number 8 on our fuse panel, we're going to look through Auxbeam's provided sticker selection right here to see what sticker we're going to use for that Siren. And luckily for us, we already have a couple that's going to be a great option. One is a Siren sticker right here, and one is a horn sticker right here. I think I like this one a lot better because it kind of separates. This kind of looks like a pod light for some reason. Just if I look right away, it looks like a pod light. I want to distinguish what a horn's going to look like, so I'm going to use the horn sticker right here. I'm going to take this sticker. Make sure you clean it off with alcohol. Stick it to number 8. So every time I want to use it, well, the car's got to be on, obviously. And I'm going to click on this button. I was able to take one end of the walkie-talkie. I did not need to take off any of the panels. All I did was just stick this through here, take my left hand and put it up into this little hole right here and grab my telephone wire and just pull this right through. Okay, I'm not going to pull it right through because I want to be able to mount this somewhere. We're going to leave it up here temporarily. Okay. We're going to take this telephone plug. We're going to take the walkie-talkie telephone plug. We're going to hook it up to the Siren telephone plug, install it. Okay, so let's go ahead and before we wrap anything up, let's go ahead and test out this baby. Let's go ahead and push the horn button here. Lights up. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Pretty loud. Actually, I like this first button right here. It pulls people over. I love it. As far as mounting locations for this, Auxbeam did give me hardware that came with the kit where I can actually install it here or right here, and I just hook it up right here if I wanted to. But just for the sake of this installation, I'm going to keep it right up here until I find a temporary spot for it. But I'm not going to install it just yet. I'm going to have some fun with this. All right, guys. But there's plenty of spaces for you to install this walkie-talkie anywhere you want. Adam 112, Adam 112. We have a 211 in progress. Couple of perps listening to Blink 182 during a 69. That can perhaps lead to a 187. Roger, roger.
Description, please.
Description of the perp.
Roger that.
Obviously, they're not Asian because a crime is being committed.
Please stand by, sending backup. Backup units.
Move it or lose it, lady. Out of the way. My favorite button. I love it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I heard from Auxbeam there is going to be a part 2 to this series, and maybe perhaps a part 3. We are going to transform this GX460 into a police cruiser, and we're going to start pulling people over on the highways. Okay? No promises. I have power now.